gotta let it flow, bro. Sometimes it just happens. Let them know what's up if they even wanna chat. Put the city on the map. Do we even gotta ask? Man, I'm feeling spiffy, but I keep it all a stack. You ain't run a lap. Let me give you.
So we were just talking about martial arts training. So, I had a quick question. So, what was your opinion on like gym wars within like a region?
Region wise, or like local?
Local.
Locally, like in the beginning, I feel like gym wars are like, I mean, it happens. I feel like that's kind of a natural occurrence. Like, you got some C-class guys, guys just starting, they all fighting each other.
Yeah,
But,
they don't really know anybody in the
they
area yet.
yeah.
They don't like. They're kind of just getting their start up.
Yeah, they're just getting their start up. So C and B class, I feel like after A class, like, you're going into the pro-ram. Like I feel like you're fighting guys in other regions. Possibly you might fight in the USMF or the IFMA, and now you're fighting guys in other countries overseas.
Yeah.
So you kind of need different looks. You just need more competition. Different competition,
yeah.
not better, but like because your gym can have adequate fighters, but you've been training with them so long to where
Yeah.
you know their style. So
Yeah.
you just need a different look.
Yeah.
So I feel like by that time you get into that pro-am stage, cross training, I can feel like there's some benefit to it, because
Yeah.
you get different looks and it's helpful.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. I think it also like helps to get over like some of the some like that jitter of like some of the jitter of like training with new bodies.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I first started training, I was at the same gym for the longest time, and when I started cross training, literally I was nervous like going to go roll somewhere or going to go
Yeah.
spar somewhere else, just because like it was just so new.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was gonna be like. So it was a really intense experience. But the more I started cross training, the more I got used to it, the more I could adapt to different styles, adapt to different
Yeah.
bodies, and not be so panicked about
Yeah.
it. And that's one really good skill that I think you pick up from cross training is adaptability.
Yeah.
And being able to improvise with different bodies, different partners. Building different connections too.
Yeah.
The bigger you get, the more you become, how far you go pro. You're gonna need those extra bodies.
Yeah.
You're gonna need extra help, and then obviously it's just beneficial for everybody locally too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like it develops the competition locally, and it develops the amateurs too, who are coming up, and even in B and A class, sometimes the amateur might come in and work with some pros, or work with the pros, and it'll just help them get better. They are seeing that, and like you were saying, when you're in a fight, you never spar with this person. Or some people like they train together and then they end up fighting each other, but most of the times when you fight, you have to you have to adapt to this guy.
Yeah.
Within the first, if you're gonna really dominate, you're trying to dominate, you have to adapt within the first minute, a minute or so.
Yep.
Within the first round, and you have to get used to that. So that's like you're saying, cross training
Yep.
helps your adaptability. It just helps your eyes to adjust to like, all right, they like to, like say you got like different types of pressure fighters. You got a guy like Russian. You might get a guy that's like patient.
Yeah.
With this pressure.
Yeah, different cues.
Yeah, different cues. So you're used to seeing that. When you fight an opponent, somebody they might kind of hit some of those. You might recognize some of those cues, and because you've seen all these different looks, now you can like adjust to it, which I think is very, like you said, helps your adaptability. It's very beneficial to like train with other gyms. But like back to like the C class, like when you're just starting, you're just trying to fight. You're just trying to like fight differently, and it's easier to like, kind of fight within your hometown. Mm-hmm. One, it's easier for ticket sales. Two, you don't have to travel.
Yeah.
Because traveling's a bitch. Like,
especially while cutting.
Yeah, while cutting weight. And in C class, I feel like you shouldn't have to do that. Try to travel as less as possible and try to just fight in your hometown. C and B class, try to fight locally as much as possible. One, you can just kind of build your resume without having to go far. and two, like, you're comfortable.
Yeah.
You don't, you're at home. You can cut weight, like you said. You don't have to travel, and you just it builds your confidence.
Yeah.
When you travel to like another state or like another region, more so. Now, state isn't so bad. That's still like kind of
Because you could go to like Wisconsin and
yeah,
be okay.
And it's
Yeah.
for like Wisconsin or Iowa or North Dakota or South Dakota.
Yeah.
But like when you go to down south, Atlanta, or you go to Florida,
Yeah.
or you go to I don't know, California, LA, or New York. You go to somewhere far, Canada. We got Gooch Long fought in Canada, so it's like when you go to far away places like that. That's where it's like, it's better if you're higher up, if versus like being a C class and just like, now I have to go away to Canada to fight. Like, this is an international fight.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I never had to do that at C class, but like, if I had to do that at C class, I'd be like, oh,
Intense.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
that would be a really intense experience.
Yeah.
I mean, like, especially if like you're still at the point where you only train at your one gym.
yeah.
Training at another gym is already kind of like going to another gym for the first time is already kind of like like jittery.
nerve-wracking.
But then going to a different country, like
Yeah.
you're an international fight, and it's just like the culture's different.
Yeah.
It's no, that'd be super nerve wracking.
And like so much shit happens, like even when you're going to like even another region, like
Yeah.
like you like you go your flight, like say your flight gets delayed, some like that, or all right, now you need like, all right, now you cut all this weight, now you got to find a store to get all your rehydration supplies because
Yeah.
you can't take Pedialyte on the flight, or you can bring Pedialyte packets, but you're not, all right, now you gotta go get a bottle of water, if you if you go to a different country, hopefully they take the currency.
Oh yeah.
You gotta worry about that. So.
And have you gotten bottled water from an airport, man? It's like freaking $8.
Yes, it's expensive
crazy.
as well.
It's so
Like,
crazy.
That happened when I fought in New York. Me and my wife, we got a few bottles of water. I tried to get enough to like equal like a gallon.
Yeah.
So we spent like 70 bucks
Jesus.
on like just minor, like just a few things to rehydrate. I
Yeah.
spent like over $70.
God
it was stupid.
And that's another thing too that could be difficult. Like if you're already kind of like struggling financially, and now you have to pull some of this out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Which if some of the people listening didn't know about this, you can actually, if you're making money off of this, like let's say because ticket sales or you getting some kind of purse, it's gonna go on your taxes, right?
Yes.
So you can write you can write the mileage off, you can write the meals off, you get federal per diem. All this stuff can get written off on your taxes. So I'm just starting to learn this now.
Yep. I'm just learning it.
Yeah, so which is a little late in the game because I'm like 4 fights in as a pro. So, but we're getting there. We're
getting there, man. Yeah, like actually, one promotion sent me like a 1090, and I was like, I gotta
Yeah.
pay taxes. I was like, I completely forgot about that. I'm like freaking. I'm like, oh man, I gotta pay taxes. I'm like, oh. So I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking, all right, I'm thinking about all like the gas receipts and the mileage I put in and I'm trying to remember everything I spent based off like for fighting stuff and just trying to like somehow add it up and put it into my taxes just so I can get it written off. It's crazy.
I took a huge last tax season, dude. I took a huge I made essentially like I got nothing back. I got because like I put in my employment stuff. And then, I got like whatever it was. Like, it was like I'd only been working for like 6 months because I was, just focusing on fighting. So I'd probably only got like $2,000 or so. And then I put my 1099 in from the fights, and it all just went. And actually, I think it was negative. So I think I actually owed the government some money too.
See, that's what I'm worried about because, I've got to put in my W-2 and I put in my 1099. I was like, oh yeah, you made some money from this fight.
Yeah. So I'm still learning about that as early on as possible is super super helpful.
Yeah, especially if you're a C class fighter. I know a C class is hard to know the future, but I know when I was C class when I first started fighting, I kept saying I was going to turn pro. I was like, I'm gonna turn pro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn pro. I'm gonna turn pro, and I finally fucking did it. Like I don't know, like you kind of got this dream, So
Yeah, no, dude. I think ultimately you have to like when you start fighting, you have to know what you want to do with it, right? Because this is unless you're doing this as like a bucket list, or maybe you just want to get a couple in just to like see how it feels, maybe to like test yourself as a martial artist or as a fighter. Otherwise, if you're just fighting without like a point, then I've seen people fall into this, but they like fall into this mindset where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna go in there and do my best and have fun, and you don't want to do that because for me, I feel like that kind of sets you up as a way to like accept a loss if you're losing the fight.
Yes.
If you're winning the fight, obviously you'd be like, oh, I'm winning.
Yeah.
But if you're losing the fight, that's when you have to be like, no, I have to turn this on now. I have to get going, because that's a loss in your record. That's you losing a bonus or like a fight of the night, whatever. I think you having that mindset right away is like, I'm gonna be pro.
Yeah. You're trying to fight hard. You're training hard. You want to fight hard. You're trying to win.
Yep.
Like, that's very important to have, because, like you said, like, I mean, it's kind of a life and death situation. The person across from you they're trying to win. Yeah. They're trying to knock you out as fast as they can. Yeah.
You said you knew somebody who passed away in a fight, right? Like
I didn't know, like, a dude I know, he didn't pass away, but he had sickle cell. I don't want to put out his name, but like, he had sickle cell and he got knocked out and he got put in a coma.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Thankfully, he's good now.
Yeah.
He's good now. He's coaching. He's teaching now. He's still training. But like that's how serious that shit is. And that was an amateur fight. That was a high A class fight, but that was still like, it's serious. Yeah. That's how serious it is. Yeah. Amateurs, they really weren't getting paid for it. They made ticket sales, but I'm like, dude, like the person across from you is trying to you up. Yeah. So it's very important to try to go in there, train hard. And the guy was good. The guy is good as hell. He's very technical. Yeah. Very skilled. Yeah. He just got caught, and just like, if I see anybody in here training, or like, try to train as hard as you can. Yeah. Because it's serious. You step in that ring, it's serious. Like, it's not a game. The person across from you doesn't think it's a game. It's not like, oh, we're just gonna, do like a nice little technical exchange. Like, no, like, it's a fight. Yeah. This person's gonna try to hit you as hard as they can. Yeah.
Especially the deeper you go into pro, it's always gonna be hard. It's always gonna be a battle.
You got the local pros, and you got the national, like the regional and national pros, where that level is like, all right, now these guys are trying to get on to the next stage. Like, then you got, when he goes international, you got killers. Yeah.
Especially those overseas guys. Oh, man, it's a different lifestyle.
You seen the guys in one? Yeah. Like you see the MMA fighters in one, they're going hard. Even the MMA fighters in UFC, like, you see the guys overseas in PFL, like, those guys are, I mean, I don't want to say anything about, like, it's so intense that they're taking to get an edge. Like, that's how intense it is. Yeah. So it's, Yeah.
No, I 100% agree. Yeah, I think, yeah. Yeah, I think what is it? I like the sound of silence in camp. Yeah. Like, there is just something about it that, like, for me, like I don't mind like the music playing and stuff like that. Right. Like, it's cool. But honestly, like, I think it's odd to me when people like complain if there's no music. Oh, yeah. But because I don't think I've ever heard this from like the Muay Thai people, but I hear it a lot from like jiu-jitsu people. Like, as soon as the music stops, it's like, hey, where's the music? Blah blah blah, whatever, something like that. Like, not everybody, but there's a couple guys like that, and they're mostly like the casuals. But it's like, I love the sound of just hearing sweat and like hard work and just like heavy. Like, for me, that
exhaling,
yes,
the pads cracking and exhaling, that's dude. All you hear.
Like that, like for me, that is just like a symphony of just beautiful. Like, like that's like this is a room full of people, like physically pouring their heart on into something to eventually manifest into their victory.
Yeah, I mean, think about a fight. There is no music playing in the background of the fight. No, you have no music back there. Yeah, you just have the crowd. You have people saying random like up, make his bleed. I don't know, weird shit.
Hit him. Yeah, like, I did think of that.
Yeah, like then like and that's all. And you just got you guys breathing. Yeah. You just hear the leather. You start hearing leather smacking. Like, that's all you hear.
Yeah.
Like you don't hear, like, you know, you might hear your feet hitting the ground, like hitting the ring, but like that's all you hear. So like that's why, like, you know, when I'm training and like there's no music, sometimes I'm in here by myself in the morning just hitting the bag.
Yeah.
And just no music going. I'm just boom, 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 boom. I'm just like, it's just, I hear the sound of myself breathing hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let me control my breathing.
Yeah.
If I don't hear the bag cracking as loud, I'm like, let me crack the bag louder.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just boom, trying to, I don't know. But like anytime before a fight, I like watch like a few fights. Before I have a fight, like at the event, I'll watch out and I'll just like listen to the crowd, listen to the guys in the ring, just hitting, boom, 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 boom. It's just like that, like that. You know, that's like the real.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
You know, there is no music playing, or there is like, you know, theme song or like, you know,
Yeah.
your comeback theme song, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, you know, some Never Back Down.
Oh yeah.
None of that.
That movie was cold though.
It was
That
going
movie-
on. That got me going. Like, believe me,
I love that movie.
I love that movie. It's just, but that's not how it really.
Yeah,
You know, you
yeah.
don't have a theme song coming in just to help hype you back up.
Yeah.
You just got that shit has to come from you.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even get to. So I remember this from like one of my first, from my first LFA fight when I was an amateur. So like when you're on the undercard, you don't get to pick your song.
Really?
Yeah, you don't get to pick your song. They pick your. They say you. We pick your song. I think it was because it's either not televised, so they just like, oh, whatever, we'll just throw on a song, or I think it was like some copyright legal thing. I can't remember.
It could be copyrighted. Yeah.
So for the song that they played is like that song that they played so much in Fast and Furious, like. Wait,
was it the Tokyo Drift?
Yeah. And so I was just like, God, I f***ing hate this song. And so I'm just trying to like internally hype myself up while this song is playing. But it's stuff like that. It's like you should be able to just take everything in, just make everything quiet.
Yep.
And be locked in.
Yeah, be locked. I mean, because nothing, like a lot of don't go your way when you fight. Like you know, you gotta like adapt to what's happening. Like an event, they cut off an intermission, or like some dumb shit like, you know, who knows what happens? Like, you know, a fight gets canceled.
Yeah.
Your fight moves up, or something happens and your fight gets held back, and you gotta wait longer. You know, anything can happen. So it's like just being ready for that. Like you said, just kind of just cut everything out and just, you know, take things as they come and just adapt to what's happening. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've ran into any of the weird events, things that like can not cancel a fight, but like reschedule or anything like that. But
Like the day of. Like I'm in the back game ready, all of a sudden just like, hey, you're not fighting anymore.
Well, not fighting anymore, but it's like, all right, we're canceling intermission. Or you're not. You're gonna fight later than expected. Or like I had intermissions canceled on me twice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I don't honestly. I can't remember. I really cannot remember if it did or if it didn't, because like I'm just. I don't know. I think I'm just like all right. I'm ready to get in
That's
there.
good.
That's kind of the one thing of like fighting later I've had to adjust to is. Fighting sooner, you get there, you're already amped up. You don't have to reamp yourself up. You don't have to find something to do in between all these fights. Watch these people get knocked out, choked out, kicked, TKO'd. It's just like I have to be the guy doing that because I don't want to be that guy on the receiving end.
Right.
And so I guess I'm just like more fixed on just like getting ready. So I've never noticed. Actually, like, I think the closest thing I'll compare that to is when somebody gets, like, knocked out in the first round or something like that. Or
that should happen.
Yeah, like you know, knocked out, whatever. There's a loss in the first round, a minute in. And you're like, all right, you're on deck. I'm just like, oh, it's about to be real now.
Yeah.
Man. What do you think for yourself? Like, I think, like, a lot of people neglect running. And because there's a lot of different opinions about running when you're getting ready. I know some people like you remember Jackson, right?
Yes.
So Jackson, he actually doesn't run, but he has pretty good cardio.
Yeah.
But there are guys who are like Nate Diaz, notorious for running, doing marathons.
Yeah.
Insane cardio, just
I mean,
totally.
he can fight.
Yeah.
He can fight the same. He maintains the same pace the whole fight.
Yeah.
So
What do you think about that?
I think it depends on the style you're trying to fight with. For 2 years I didn't run. I just did air bike.
Mm-hmm.
Now it helped me as far as like my pressure fighting, but like I felt like I was really flat footed and like I couldn't kick as much.
Interesting.
So my punches were heavy. I would come in and I could kick a little. I could low kick, but like as far as like body kicks and high kicks, I couldn't really throw a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like now I can throw a lot more kicks.
Yeah.
Running helps the condition of your legs, your calves,
bone density.
your bone density,
Yeah.
your joints. Like it kind of gets your joints used to just being on you're just being on your feet.
Yeah.
So I feel like there is a place for running.
Yeah.
If you're gonna try, I won't say not completely abandoning running. Like if you're a person that's against running, I feel like you got to do something to supplement it. You had an air bike. When you're on the air bike, you're going.
Yeah.
You're going. And after your air bike, you jump and rope. You got to do something to be on your toes. You got to do something. I feel like even just try to run a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're gonna like mix it in, like I don't say just don't run at all because your fight's gonna be on your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Running. I feel like it's fairly important.
Yeah.
Like it's helped me a lot.
I think what I reference whenever somebody asks that question or like they're like, oh, like I need to get my cardio up. In like all like the combative Olympics, boxing, wrestling, judo, all these guys for cardio are running.
Yep.
They're
running.
all running and they're Olympians.
Yep.
I would say, these are probably the best examples to take from.
Because that's all they fucking do.
Yeah.
Like you gotta think about like you need like kind of like a baseline level of cardio, of conditioning. Like because that's like, all right, when you have energy, when you're like all that sprinting energy doesn't stay.
Yeah.
Like say like you're hitting the bag or like you're sparring. Like you're going hard sparring. You're going hard. I mean you can't maintain that you can't maintain that level.
Yeah.
So breathing, of course, but you need that baseline, like type baseline energy system where all right, you can maintain this pace for 30, 40 minutes to an hour, whatever. That's where running comes in. You can kind of like, how people say Floyd Mayweather, you get on your bike, you just kind of get on your bicycle and just kind of just move. Like you're just kind of not coasting, but you're fighting at a pace where you can just maintain the whole time. Like running comes into play with that. I feel like bag work is important too.
Yeah.
Because you're fighting, you're punching, you're kicking, you're kneeing, you're elbowing.
Woo! Let's get it. Let's go. You hear that? You hear that? Yeah. Look, we won't be quiet. You hear us again. You couldn't understand what we've been up against. We won't be quiet. You hear us again. You hear us again, man.